Hi, Gabby. How are you this
I'm
afternoon?
well. How are you, Dr. Johnston?
Good. I'm Mark Johnston, Superintendent of Shenandoah County Public Schools, and I'm here today again with Miss Gabby Ryman. You might remember the last time we appeared together, we were providing some information around what will school look like, but that was information for kindergarten through 12th grade. Today we're going to provide some information that's just specific to elementary. So let's go ahead and start, Ms. Ryman. So tell me a little bit about if schools do reopen under Phase 3 guidelines. Our youngest students are probably going to have the hardest time kind of coming back. So tell me a little bit about how we're going to adjust to that.
Well, as you said, the youngest students, especially pre-K or kindergartner students who have never stepped through our door before, don't have a prior school experience to call on. So given that and all of the various needs that they have, that's why they were a focus of all the stakeholders who really wanted to get those students back in the buildings as much as possible. Therefore, the focus on having them 4 days a week.
So in order to do that, though, 5th grade had to move over to the middle school, and 8th grade had to move over to the high school. Is that correct?
That's correct. And most people realize that our elementary schools are very highly populated under ordinary circumstances. So to accommodate with the social distancing that's required, then we had to move 5th grade.
So in terms of masks, I know I've had a lot of questions from parents about, are we requiring masks, are we not requiring masks? Can you tell us a little bit about, it seems to me that adjustment for masks are going to be the most difficult for young students, or what the elementary principals call our littles.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about how we're going to ease their anxiety. How are we going to enforce the rule? Are we going to be yelling and screaming at our kids if they don't have a mask or when they're supposed to at that time? And tell us a little bit about that.
This whole circumstance, even for us as adults, it's hard to remember our masks at times, or we have them on when we don't need to have them on because we get so accustomed to them. So our teachers and staff will be creative in helping students remember when to have them, when they can take them off. Miss Selena, our preschool coordinator, made a wonderful little video to help students feel comfortable with a mask. So all of those are just great examples of how folks will engage students.
I've seen that video. It's very cute. So tell me a little bit about, so even those students pre-K through 5 who are coming to school come 4 days a week, and 6 through 12 come 1 day a week, Monday through Thursday, I keep hearing you talk about a 5 days of instruction. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Right, because on our school calendar, school's still 5 days a week, even if kids aren't in person each day. So our elementary students who come in person have their 4 days plus their one virtually where they can be engaged at home on Fridays. And then 1 day for our 6 through 12 students and 4 days available virtually.
Okay. So one of the other things I'm aware of that you've shared with me before is we've had the question of why Fridays, why not Wednesdays? And really it's a matter, if you're attending 4 days a week, you come Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Friday's an instructional day even though you're not coming to school. Then you come back, rather than if Wednesday were the day for planning, then it would be you'd be in school Monday, Tuesday, out a day, in 2 days, out 2 days, in 2 days. That would be very difficult for young students, wouldn't it?
Yes, it's a lot to adjust to, and for families to juggle those potential schedules.
So young kids especially need to see their teachers' faces. I mean, that's a big part of building relationships with your students. So tell me about that. If teachers are wearing masks and students at times are wearing masks, how are they going to see their teachers' faces?
So teachers will have masks available, but they'll also have the clear plastic face shields, so that in times when perhaps for younger students, doing a lesson with speech or when enunciation and being able to see their face and how their mouth is moving is important, they can use a shield instead of a face mask.
And some of the masks, I understand, for like our speech language pathologists actually have a clear plastic piece where students who may be hard of hearing can lip read and so on. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Excellent. So tell me a little bit about the materials. I mean, my gosh, the elementary students I see, they have so much in the way of materials. How are they going to keep all of that straight?
Yes, they do. I know my son always has his little pencil box that's his. He picks out every year to keep all of his things in. So much like that, within the classroom, teachers and principals are working on ways to organize into little cubbies or little containers of some sort to keep our materials separate, so that I use those same pencils every day and they don't mix together.
Great. What about recess, physical education? related arts, art, music, the things that kids seem to enjoy so much and helps them developmentally. Where does that fit in all this?
Well, absolutely. So as we mentioned before, those activities will still be scheduled within the day. The way it looks in those classrooms may be a little different. Out at recess, even for example, there may not be as many students on the playground at the same time. They may have to limit the amount of equipment they're engaged with in order to not be able to necessarily clean in between appropriately. So we want to be careful with that. Again, in PE or any of the other related arts classes, the distancing will need to be there, cleaning of materials in between. So it just may end up looking a little different than in a typical classroom situation.
So what if I've chosen to only participate virtually? Am I still going to have access to related arts?
Yes.
Art, music, PE?
Yes. So our teachers will think about ways to impart those content in a way that students can interact with them virtually, and in doing so, then engage perhaps their whole family in those activities that they're doing.
So I'm still caught a little bit on this not being able to come in and eat with my child if I wanted to, or with a friend of mine. So parents can't come in to eat with their children?
I know, and I know that is so disappointing to pass along to people. We love those times to come and eat with our children, but again, for the sake of their safety, when you look at it through that lens, the safety of the school and the staff and the students, the less people we can have in the buildings at this time, the better. And the more we can do that now, then maybe the faster the opportunity will come to open it up.
Excellent. So anything else we should know?
Logistically, no, not at this time, but I think what's important for parents and students in the community to know is our teachers and our administrators, they want students back in the building, and they're excited. And as much as we've had to talk about the various challenges and the things that'll look different, the one common theme is that those students will be welcomed back into the buildings just with the love and support that has always been there. And those are the things for us to hang on to right now.
Well, thank you, Ms. Ryman. That's been very helpful. I hope that you've learned a little bit more about specifically what the elementary school day will look like, in addition to information that we shared previously. Thank you again for listening.